This one thing could be causing you a whole lot of health problems. I'm Jennifer, an integrative healing practitioner. Have you heard of oxalates or oxalic acid? Most people have not. In fact, up until about 4 years ago, when I started my healing journey to figure out the root causes of my hair loss, fatigue, and other health issues, I had never heard of oxalates. So, what are oxalates? Oxalates, which are also called oxalic acids, are organic compounds that plants, animals, and humans produce. Plants produce them as a defense mechanism against predators. Animals and humans produce oxalates as byproducts of metabolic processes in the body. Metabolic processes include all the chemical reactions that happen inside our body to keep us alive and functioning. In other words, we humans produce oxalates as a result of all the chemical reactions and processes that occur naturally in our bodies. Some plants are higher in oxalates than others. Spinach is an example of a plant that has extremely high levels of oxalates. We've been told that spinach is a superfood, right? Spinach used to be my favorite pizza topping, and I would always eat spinach in my salads. From purely a nutrient standpoint, spinach does contain a lot of vitamins and minerals. The problem is, because of the high levels of oxalates, we're not absorbing most of those nutrients. I'll explain why this is in a minute. Just like how some plants produce more oxalates than others, the same is true for humans. Some humans are genetically prone to producing more oxalates as well. Genetic mutations on the enzymes that are involved in oxalate metabolism can lead to overproduction. Keep listening because I'll go over the steps you can take to help reduce and eliminate the excess oxalates, whether you have genetic mutations or not. First, I want to talk about why oxalates are a problem. When we eat foods that are high in oxalates like spinach, the oxalates in the food can attach to minerals such as calcium in our digestive system. This creates a substance that our body cannot absorb, so it gets passed out of the body in our stool. This means two things. Less oxalates get into our bloodstream, but the minerals attached to the oxalates like calcium are also not getting absorbed by our body. So even though these foods are packed with nutrients, we don't get the full benefit because some of the nutrients are excreted. Eating a lot of high oxalate foods over time can cause mineral deficiencies since our body isn't absorbing enough of these essential nutrients. Some of the foods that have an extremely high oxalate content are spinach, Swiss chard, peanuts, almonds, dark chocolate, plantains, rhubarb, beets, and soy. Here's another major problem that oxalates cause to our body. If we have too many oxalates in our body and they don't have minerals to bind to, they can form crystals that have sharp edges. These sharp edges can wreak havoc on the body. That's when physical symptoms can occur. The crystals can get into the joints, kidneys, bladder, and eyes and cause damage. Some of the symptoms you can experience are joint pain, burning when urinating, frequent urination, painful bowel movements, kidney stones, interstitial cystitis, fibromyalgia, and fatigue. If you're prone to getting kidney stones, you'll want to limit the amount of oxalates you consume. If you're prone to getting kidney stones, most healthcare providers recommend limiting your oxalate intake to 40 to 50 milligrams per day. Just to give you an idea of how little that is, 1 cup of raw spinach contains around 656 milligrams of oxalates. That's 13 times the recommended amount, and that's just one food. If you're on a plant-based diet, you really need to be careful about the amount of oxalates you're consuming. Many people who are on a plant-based diet eat spinach, cook with almond flour, drink almond milk, and consume soy products like tofu on a regular basis and are taking in way more oxalates than they should be. Even if you're not on a plant-based diet, it's easy to go overboard and consume way more than your body can handle. It's best to avoid eating the extremely high oxalate foods like the ones I mentioned because those extremely high levels are hard for our bodies to handle and add too much to our oxalate load. If you're going to eat foods that are high, not extremely high, but high in oxalates, it's best to drink milk or take calcium with them. Remember, the calcium will bind to the oxalates, helping your body to excrete them. You won't be getting all the nutrients, but at least some of the oxalates will be excreted out of your body. High levels of oxalates in your body can also cause neurotransmitter imbalances. Neurotransmitters are our body's chemical messengers. They help transmit signals from one nerve cell to another. They play a big role in our mental health. Oxalates can bind to essential minerals like magnesium and calcium, which are crucial for neurotransmitter production and function. This binding can lead to deficiencies in these minerals, affecting neurotransmitter balance. If our neurotransmitters are out of balance, we can experience depression, anxiety, and brain fog. In addition to the physical and mental health symptoms that can present as a result of high oxalate levels, mitochondrial damage can also occur. Our mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells. They generate most of the cell's supply of ATP. ATP provides the energy needed for many processes in our body. Oxalates can cause oxidative stress by increasing the production of reactive oxygen species, which can damage mitochondrial DNA and proteins, leading to impaired function. They can disrupt the mitochondrial membrane, which is crucial for ATP production and cellular energy. They can also trigger inflammation, which in turn can cause damage to the mitochondria and cause other issues to the body as well. Pathogens in your gut, such as protozoa or an overgrowth of yeast or bacteria, can even produce oxalates. Certain yeast species like Candida can produce oxalates as metabolic byproducts. Some bacteria in the gut can contribute to oxalate production as well. Running a GI map test to see what yeast and bacteria you have, and a para-wellness test for parasites and protozoa, and taking the proper steps to get rid of them is an important part of healing from oxalate damage. Something else that can contribute to high levels of oxalates is high levels of vitamin C or ascorbic acid. High levels of vitamin C can convert to oxalates. If you're taking high levels to boost your immune system, for antioxidant properties, or for reducing your risk of chronic diseases, it's important to be aware that this might increase your body's oxalate levels, and this could potentially add to your overall oxalate load and possibly cause damage. Here are some of the steps you can take to help reduce your oxalate load. I've mentioned a few of these, but they're worth mentioning again. Reducing your intake of oxalates and avoid the extremely high oxalate foods I mentioned. Drink milk or take calcium when eating high oxalate foods. Stay hydrated. Water helps to dilute oxalates in the urine, reducing the risk of crystal formation. Magnesium. Adding magnesium to your diet, or ideally taking a magnesium supplement, can help add more minerals for the oxalates to bind to. Probiotics. Certain probiotics like Oxalobacter formigenes can help break down oxalates in the gut, reducing their absorption. Work on your detox pathways. It's essential to work on your detox pathways so that the body is able to help properly detoxify the excess oxalates. Check out my video on detox pathways. You can find the link to it in the description below. I'm sure you can see that multiple factors can contribute to high levels of oxalates, and that oxalates is a main cause of many different health issues and symptoms. The good news is that it's something that can be in your control, that you can heal from. You don't have to deal with kidney stones, interstitial cystitis, painful or frequent urinating, or any of the other symptoms that oxalates are causing you any longer. If you found this video educational and want to resolve your persisting health symptoms, I'm taking new clients. You can find me at holisticwellbeingih.com and sign up for a free 20-minute health assessment.